So we're here at Belly on Body with Jeff Bell, and we're going to talk about deadlifts today. Deadlifts get a lot of publicity and a very kind of trendy exercise to be doing now. It's a great exercise for stabilizing, strengthening the lower back, but it is oftentimes not done entirely correctly. And if you have a lower back pain issue, if you had lower back pain problems in the past, you got to do the deadlift extremely carefully. And so one way to do that is to use a band, and this is called a monster band. If you're going to attach it to something, it has to be very stable, like a pulling machine or something where it's not going to break or fly off. So when doing the deadlift, we're going to emphasize the glutes here. And this pull, by pulling your body backwards, you sit back in your hips, you squeeze the glutes, and you come on up. So the band just helps shift your whole body weight backwards. So as you bring your hips forward, you get more resistance. So you can do this slowly without any weight, and this is a great exercise to activate the glutes while using the abdominals and the deep lumbar stabilizers to keep the spine stable. So anytime you're doing a deadlift, you feel anything in your lower back or your hamstrings, you need to focus more on the glutes. A lot of times that's what's going on. Those muscles are synergistically dominant over the glutes. So in addition to doing it slowly like this, you can do them faster as a thrust. So Jeff will show us how to do it as a thrust. So this becomes more of a power exercise and the other version, the slower version, is more of an activation exercise. There's some crossover between the two, but that's generally how it breaks down. So you can also do it plyometrically. So if you want to do the jumps. So if you're doing any sort of jumping sports, basketball, tennis, anything where, martial arts, anything where you need to jump off the ground, this is a great exercise that you can be doing. It's safe, it's low impact, you're engaging both glutes, and it's very low risk on the lumbar spine. You can also do this with a bar, kettlebell, dumbbells. We'll demonstrate with a kettlebell here. If you have access to these equipment, this is great. If you don't, the nice thing about the band is that's going to add about 40 to 50 pounds of resistance. So even without any weights or anything, you're going to get more than you would get if you had no band at all. Adding the kettlebell here just makes it harder, makes it more of a lower body strength exercise. Whereas without the weight, it becomes more of an activation exercise. And then when you're doing it fast, it's plyometric, it's power. When you add the dumbbell, this would fit really well into an exercise strength building program, hypertrophy, where you want to put on muscle mass. So when you are setting up for this exercise, you want to have a little forward lean, and you want to just hang out here for a few seconds, 10 seconds, or just get your body used to the balance, because this is going to pull you back pretty far. The monster band is about a medium resistance, but it's still going to add a lot of tension. So just get comfortable, and you can lean into it. And then the first few, even if you are going to do any weight or any sort of plyometric, do a few slowly without any weight. Just get your body used to what's happening. Another variation of the band-assisted deadlift is to do it from a posterior anterior pull, so it's pulling you forward. And so in this position, what it is really great at doing is helping to engage the glute medius muscles. We've talked about this before. The glute medius muscles are on the sides here, and they help keep your hips and knees stable. So if they're not firing properly, the tendency is to collapse in your knees. So by having the band in that position, it helps engage the glute medius muscles. When you're doing a deadlift, your knees can stay more aligned. So this is a great way to engage the glute medius and maximus fully. When you're doing it the other way with the band pulling you back, it's not so much a glute medius activation exercise as it is a glute maximus. This gets a little bit of everything. So as you can see, Jeff's kind of showing us here if you look at his knees, they're collapsing in. Part of what the glute medius does is it helps the knees and the legs stay in alignment. So when you're doing this exercise, watch your knees. Make sure your knees are over your first and second toe and not collapsing inward. And so that's what this band really helps do. You want to have the band just behind your knee. If you have any sort of, if it's pulling on your hair or something, you can use a little towel or something just to kind of give yourself a little bit of protection. But basically, you want to have the band behind your knee when you're doing this. And just show us a couple good variations or bad variations. So you see, when he doesn't focus on the glute medius here, his knees collapse. So that's what we're trying not to do. And as this relates to the lumbar spine, when the glute medius are firing better, it's going to improve the mechanics of the hip joint. So as it relates to the lumbar spine, the glute medius is an important stabilizer of the hip. And when those muscles are underactive, not only, as you can see, will it affect the knees, but it will also work its way up into the lumbar spine. So when you're setting up for this, you want this band to be right at the front of the hip bone. It's called the ASIS. You want that band to be right there against it. If it's higher, it's just going to pull into your stomach, which is not going to be comfortable. If it's too low, you're not going to be able to get the right amount of resistance. So you want to have right on that bone.